fiery topics in marriage, we enjoy talking about them. We enjoy being open, transparent, because we really use our ministry to kind of represent what we wish someone would have told us. Yeah. Friday Night by the Fire really is, okay, it would be great to have this Disney concept. Let's rewind and really look at what's for real happening in between the cut, when they're on television. We don't get to cut and start all over. We don't get to have actors and actresses. We don't get to have $1 million budgets. We don't get to have all of that. What we have is our reality. What we have is our thoughts, our past, our examples, our hurt, our trauma. We have everything that we come to the table with. And so on Friday Night by the Fire, we just talk about those fiery topics that let's just break some things down. Let's just make sure we have a better understanding.
Right. We don't want to continue to look at and think everything is Disney. There are ups and downs. There are goods. There are bads. There are going to be some rough moments. And everybody always say, that's not going to be me. Or this is going to be that. I said that. She was like, what do you think? What do you think is going to keep us together? I said, well, I love you. Look, man. And she was like, well, love is just a small part of this because it's going to take actual work for us to actually be together. And I thought that was like the weirdest thing for her to ever say. I got offended, tell you the truth. I literally got offended because it was like you was questioning my love. But it wasn't questioning my love. It was questioning my discipline to actually stay in love and to nurture the relationship. Because I never had an opportunity to look at a functioning relationship growing up. Right. I grew up. I lived with my grandmother. My grandmother was divorced when I got married. I heard about all of the things. I started seeing a lot of different things. My mama wasn't married, so she had me out of wedlock. So all of these things, I didn't see what a good marriage would look like. And then I was looking at other stuff, and I was trying to piece things together. So that's why I looked at the Cosbys, and I wanted the Cosbys because I'm watching this show, and this is what I'm looking at, and my mind is dreaming because I was a dreamer. I started fantasizing about what my life would look like and what it should look like. But then as I grew up, there were circumstances that starts happening that now pollutes the vision that you have for what you thought a relationship should look like. And so when you start having different relationships, growing up when you were a kid or a teenager or a young adult, you have these relationships because some of these relationships and the things that you were doing in these relationships weren't based on a biblical principle, on a biblical standpoint. It was like fornication, lust, perversion, all of these things, the drugs, the alcohol, whatever it may be, that was a part of how you show love or you found love or whatever it may be. So your perspective of the relationship has always been tainted. And so that's why you end up getting hurt. Somebody hurt your feelings, or you get disappointed or you get let down. So that's the training ground of learning that when I get into a relationship, these things can happen. Yeah. These things here can happen when two people try to come together and create one thing, one person. And so you learning these things, but you're not really paying attention to them because you in this, I'm gonna call it your fantasy time. This is my dream guy, because you got your list of what he gonna look like, how tall he gonna be, what his smile gonna look like, what his bank account gonna look like, all of this. And then all of a sudden, if it doesn't meet your criteria, then you just put them away. But then when they meet it, and then all of a sudden you get all of those checklists, but that person hurts you. That person disappoints you. That person does all of this. Now you reevaluating your list. Now your list goes to, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. So now we're talking about a process of this relationship and us going through this up and down. We still talking about this marriage hurts, but the hurt starts when you start dealing with relationships. When you get into young relationships and you start getting hurt, and now you don't know how to walk out of it or handle it or process some of the stuff that you're going through. Because when I got married, I didn't understand how to process what I was going through. I didn't know how to process the hurt. I didn't know how to process the trauma that I was already dealing with, trying to say, I love you. And my love wasn't enough. It wasn't getting it done because my actions was hurting. My actions was causing pain. My actions was causing distrust. And so all of those things, but I was still in my heart, I was loving her. I wouldn't want to hurt her. And I meant I didn't want to hurt her, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how not to do it. Right. I didn't know how not to tell a lie. I didn't know, because I was basing all of my whole life on a fantasy and on a lie that I stayed with. And it started framing how I looked at the relationship, how I went into this relationship, how I hurt. So I came in with a tainted perspective of what this marriage was going to actually look like.
So our topic is, God, this marriage hurts.
Yes.
And so often when we talk to God and we say this marriage hurts, we expect God to just say, oh, either let me get out of it or fix it.
Hi, I'm Gerald, one half of Gerald and Yvette Ministries. I'd like to introduce my beautiful wife, Yvette Benton, who is my helpmeet that is truly sweet.
Thank you, honey. Well, we are excited about our upcoming podcast and some episodes of Fiery Topics in Marriage. You see the fire? We bring up topics that, you know what? Sometimes other people don't want to talk about.
Because they're fire.
Honest conversations, genuine love, a little bit of fun, but no sugarcoating. You'll get real information, including the Word of God, on Fiery Topics.
Join us for more fiery topics in marriage.